This woman never imagined, even in her dreams, that the child she thought had died in a car accident 5 years ago was still alive. It turned out her mother had secretly given the boy away without telling her. But when mother and son finally met, the child was covered with marks of mistreatment. Those painful experiences turned a normal boy into someone with autism. So Ji-young held her child tightly and cried in regret. She blamed herself for not protecting her son from such inhuman treatment. If Wei-in had never been given away, he would have been a healthy, sweet child. Because of her mother's actions, Ji-young was filled with resentment. How could her own mother take away her right to be a parent? Both she and Wei-in had suffered deeply from being separated all these years. Yet when Ji-young accused her mother, she did not think she had done wrong. For the sake of her daughter's happiness, she was willing to be the villain. Even if life gave her another chance, she would still choose the same path. Her words pierced Ji-young's heart deeply. So even in her sleep, Ji-young could not stop crying. Hearing his wife cry made Tae-woo ache inside as he lay beside her. Since his mother had once told them to share the same bed as a couple, for the first time he acted like a real husband. He gently carried his wife to bed to rest. He stayed by her side just like she had once cared for him. When Ji-young woke up, she realized Tae-woo had watched over her all night. At that moment she felt both touched and guilty. If she chose to keep her son by her side, she would have no choice but to divorce her husband. This was never the outcome Ji-young had wanted in the beginning, since her son was still staying at her mother's house. The next day she rushed back to see him, but her mother told her the boy had already been taken away by his adoptive father. She wanted her daughter to forget Wei-in completely, and return to the life of a wealthy wife. But Ji-young had finally found her son and could never abandon him again. She begged her mother not to hide Wei-in away. The boy already carried emotional scars. He should not be sent back again. But no matter how Ji-young pleaded, her mother stayed unmoved. She insisted her daughter had only dreamed it all. Her child, she said, had died 5 years ago. Since her mother refused to reveal the boy's whereabouts, Ji-young could only beg her father to help her find him. She could not let Wei-in live every day in fear of an abusive guardian. It was mistreatment that had first caused his mental struggles. This time she vowed to stay by his side forever. Her father had once supported his wife in sending the boy away, but when he saw his daughter's pain, he could not bear it and finally helped her bring her son back. When mother and son embraced, Ji-young swore never to leave Wei-in again. Her mother saw that her husband had helped their daughter reclaim her child, but she could do nothing about the bond between father and daughter. Since the boy had suffered serious emotional wounds, Ji-young brought him to the hospital hoping for treatment, but the doctor said all he needed was more love. Only steady warmth and affection could help Wei-in recover. Meanwhile, Tae-woo stood at the door every day waiting for his wife to return. Even if he had to freeze outside for 5 hours, he welcomed her himself. His aunt felt uncomfortable seeing her son act this way. She never thought Tae-woo had fallen so deeply into this love, because Ji-young often ran back to her mother's home recently. Her mother-in-law did not blame her openly, but she still held some resentment in her heart. Tae-woo's excessive dependence also made Ji-young feel pressured. After all, both her son and her husband were struggling with autism. Compared to her husband, Wei-in needed her presence even more. At this moment, Ji-young realized she had to make a choice between the two.